Kamala Harris mega donors are not too pleased with the Obama world, and they blame them in part for her spectacular 2024 presidential election loss. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Kamala Harris mega donors blaming the Obama world, at least in part, for Kamala Harris's spectacular election defeat up against President Donald J. Trump. Now, I'm not surprised here. This is part of the ongoing Democratic Party civil war that's happening and has been happening for a long time. I'm not quite sure when it started, but it is raging. You have different camps in the party, and sometimes, a lot of times, they have diverging objectives. You have the Obama world, okay, Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, all those up under him. You have them. Then you have the Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer. You got them. Now you have the squad with AOC and her ilk. The fire alarm puller, Jamal Bowman. And by the way, they're kind of fracturing. A lot of them are falling off. I think Jamal Bowman lost. I think Cori Bush lost. But different story, I digress. You still got quite a few powerful squad members, AOC, Ilhan Omar, etc. They're all kind of doing different things. Now, what happened here is the Obama world collided with outside interests, I suppose. You see, the Obamas know Joe very well. They did not want him to run. They did not want him to run. And him running and becoming the president spawned Kamala. We'll talk about all that a little bit more a little bit later. But first, let's get into some clips from earlier in the year. Okay, earlier in the year, we got Trump and J.D. Vance talking about what I was just saying about how Barack Obama, the Obama world, they're not big fans of Joe Biden. They didn't want him to run to begin with. Check it out.
Barack Obama still plotting against you, trying to take you out.
They got some big problems over there. First of all, Obama hates Biden, and Biden hates Obama. And when Obama walked Biden out a couple of weeks ago off the stage, he didn't have to do that. He could have let him wave to the people a little bit longer. I don't know if Joe knew who he was waving to, but he was waving. And all of a sudden, Obama comes along, grabs him. Come on, Joe. Like he was a child. It made him look so bad. And I know people with Biden. I know people with Obama. And they were not happy about that. It made him look really bad, like a child. Like a child. They don't like each other. And I think that it's pretty tough. This guy got, 14, 15 million votes, delegates. He had the votes. So he goes through a process. He gets them. And the whole thing has been a con. Look, when they kept him in the basement in the first, those people should be looked at because they lied to the American public.
Exactly. They knew that he was in decline back then. People are kind of surprised that Joe was looking kind of crazy, looking old. It's like we were trying to tell y'all this years ago, years and years. I've been right here in front of this camera saying the exact same thing I'm saying now, that he looked old, decrepit, weak. His mind was not really there. We said that back in 2020, 2019, and before. So the mainstream media and the campaign just fooled you. They bamboozled you.
All this while ignorant of this incredibly powerful battle that is happening right now behind the scenes at the DNC. Hillary and Obama may hate each other on a personal level, but begrudgingly, they are forced to respect each other. Hillary respects Obama's influence, and Obama respects Hillary's backroom savvy. Hillary and Obama share a visceral hatred for Joe Biden. To Hillary, Joe Biden is the idiot kid who never studied, but out of sheer luck aces the test she failed. To Obama, Joe Biden was always the White House court jester, now sharing the stage and legacy of the presidency with him.
Exactly. Now, this is back. What was this? This is back in July when this video came out. But that's exactly what's going on. See, Hillary is kind of part of Obama world. Okay, that's part of their whole thing. Slick Willie. I might even put George W. Bush in there with him. I see them hang out quite a bit. And wasn't George W. Bush a friend of Obama's family before Obama became the president? Like, wasn't George W. or George H.W. Barack Obama's like childhood friends in some kind of way? Anyway, that's a different story. But see, you see where I'm getting at. They got their own little clique going on, and they did not like Joe Biden. They did not want him to become the nominee, but here we are.
Why hasn't?
Now, this is back in 2020 when they're asking Joe, hey, why haven't you gotten the endorsement from Barack Obama? What's going on with that?
Why hasn't President Obama endorsed you? You guys served together for 8 years.
Because I want to earn this on my own.
Did he offer to endorse you?
No, we didn't even get there. I asked him not to. He said, okay. I think it's better. I think he thinks it's better for me.
There go Tucker back in the day. Let's see what he got to say.
Well, that's just pathetic. I mean, you don't even want to pile on. It's just sad to watch.
Why hasn't?
Exactly. It really is. So you should endorse somebody if you want to. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you don't want to, you're not going to do it. So, you know, all this going back and forth, oh, I need a little bit of time, give me a few days. Nah. If it's somebody that I want to become the president, somebody that I admire, I respect, as soon as they announce, I'm going to immediately endorse them. You put a camera, microphone in front of me. Hey, ABO, do you endorse X, Y, and Z? Yes, I do. Right now. Say it with my whole chest. Now, let's keep that in your mind, that Obama really didn't want to endorse and did not endorse, I suppose, Joe Biden at first in 2020. And it's the same thing he did with Kamala. Now, this article, NBC News, you see the headline, Obama plans to endorse Harris for president soon. The former president has multiple conversations with the vice president about her campaign this week. Now, this article was published July 25th, 2024. You see the headline, you see the date right there, right? Now, that was a Thursday. She announced her campaign on Sunday. What's taking you so long to endorse her? What's taking you so long? I mean, look, all you got to do, it don't take you that much time. Put a cell phone right here in front of your face, record a 3-minute statement, put it out, and it's done. Oh, conversations. What are you talking about? What is there to discuss? If you really wanted to endorse her, you would do it right away without going through all this rigmarole. Now, you see this right here. This picture kind of sums it up. This picture sums it up. Look at how happy Joe Biden looks with Donald Trump in the White House. This is a recent picture. This is just a few weeks ago, a few days ago. Look at his face. I've not seen Joe Biden so happy throughout his entire presidency. You know what I think? I think that Joe Biden resents the Democratic Party for treating him a certain kind of way. In the earlier clip, he was a court jester in the White House. He's still being treated that way. No respect, old man, elder abuse, shoving them around. I'm not saying that that's necessarily correct, but he feels that way. He don't like the Democratic Party, which is why he held on for forever when they probably wanted him to not run in the first place and then to drop out midterm time, but he didn't do either one. So he waited until after the primaries are over, dropped out, and then said, yo, take Kamala. I'm going to endorse her right now. 30 minutes after he drops out, after he was voted for in the primary by everybody that voted for the Democratic Party, he says, all right, go take Kamala. It did not take him a week or never to endorse her the way it did with the Obamas. Anyway, let's go here. Now, here's an example of the treatment. You can see Obama and then Joe. All right, Kamala's out in front, but he's not a fan of Kamala either. Let's not get that confused. Some may see this clip and say that he's snubbing Joe in favor of Kamala, the so-called black woman, although she's not. Okay, she can't even call herself the Tiger Woods Cablinasian because she's not even black. You a Cub-Asian. That's what you are. But anyway, it looks like he's snubbing him for her. Yes, he is snubbing him, but it's not even about Kamala because his team was the one that were floating out rumors about her dropping out before the primaries because they wanted to replace her at the top of the ticket. The plan was to get Joe out after the primaries or sometime before the presidency, before the election, and then replace him. And if you drop out that late, you got to put the vice president in there. You have to. So they wanted to replace her in order to replace him with a better version of who they wanted. I've shown her before. Can I just say elephant in the room? Are we dealing with a spy right here? What's going on? Okay, we've seen quite a few of these Chinese spies. I'm just putting it out there. I'm not trying to be racist, but I got to ask a question because I know it's not just me thinking that, but let's go ahead and watch this. And of course, everything will be in the box. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
held two calls, one for her top donors and one for grassroots. I was speaking and texting with fellow attendees of the call, and we were amazed by how self-congratulatory the tone was. I don't recall, the call was about 20, 30 minutes. I don't recall anyone taking responsibility for the fact that we spent about $2 billion across the super PAC in
$2 billion with a B. $2 billion.
the campaign and came up so significantly short. We lost 7 swing states.
Self-congratulatory. In what types of things were being said?
They praised Harris as a visionary leader. I believe at one moment during the call, she was talking about her Thanksgiving recipe. And I don't say this with any malice or anything. I'm just merely conveying what happened. I think I was stunned to hear that, given just the extent and brutality of the loss and the fact that DNC staffers, at least two thirds have been fired summarily. And a lot of them are at a loss as to what to do. I'm just frankly stunned that there was no sort of postmortem or an analysis of how we can do better, what sort of lessons were learned. It was really just patting each other on the back, congratulating each other on I'm not sure what, and saying we'll see you for Christmas.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of donors are not happy. A number of them are blaming people in Obama world. That's who they helicoptered in after Biden stepped down. A lot of consultants in Obama world came over and took over the campaign apparatus. The same people who were whispering and leaking to the press that Harris should be replaced at the top of the ticket.
See, that's what I was saying earlier. They didn't like her either. Don't get it twisted. They didn't like this black woman. They don't. They did not want her to become the nominee at all
When Biden was running. So you can imagine just the hypocrisy underlying a lot of it.
All right. So there we have it. Now, as I close, I want to say this. This is all the Democratic Party's fault. The current civil war they're going through is their fault because let's go back. As wrap it on up and put the bow on top. 2020, they're desperate. They don't want the orange man to win again because they know the people love him. They got to do all kind of tricks and manipulation and barely legal things, illegal things in order to be able to be successful and keep him out. Biden's campaign was dead in the water until he got to South Carolina. South Carolina, where 75% of the Democratic electorate is black, they said, oh, you're Joe Biden from the Obama days. Well, I love Obama, so I'm going to vote for you as well because you're an extension of Obama. They saw it as Obama's third term, and that's what revived his campaign, and the Democratic Party had no choice but to ride that wagon. They had to ride the wagon. They couldn't put out disinfo on him or nothing like that because he was the guy that had the most ability to be able to win in their mind. So they put him out there knowing that he was 1,000 years old. But then they got a kowtow to the community that put him in there by hiring a black woman to be the vice president, although she's not black, close enough. She's a moron. He's a moron. You know he's a quote unquote stopgap president. So you know there's got to be her coming up. That's why you tried to replace him. You guys in the White House, the Joe Biden campaign are complete morons, which is part of the reason why you lost. You're dumb. And you have smarter people on the other side. You have a better candidate, better people, better overall everything on the other side. That's why you lost. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take on the whole situation? Do you think that this was set up by the Obama world? Do you think that they are to blame in part for this epic loss? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. I mean, you guys know where I'm at. Ultimately, Joe shouldn't have been there from the beginning. I'm no Obama fan, but he was right about that. He was right. But the Democratic Party had no choice because they had nobody else that could have defeated the orange man. And really, it was a lot more than that defeated him, quote unquote, in 2020. But that's a different story. But that's what they did. They kicked the can down the road, but the can came back. Now they got to deal with it, and they can't, and they lost. And it took them $2 billion to discover that their plan was doomed from the jump. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.